Hello, Facebook friends, hello. Hello, Facebook friends, hello. I'm feeling real silly, so let's start the show. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Ba-doo, ba-doo, boo. And I see Taz. Let's do this a little bit. There we go. I forgot to plug in my phone again, so I have it plugged in and I have it done out. Boop. Jets 2-1, 5 minutes left in the second period. Thank you very much, Rob Somerville, for letting me know. Justin, yeah, Mom and Dad have some COVID, and how are you feeling, pal? Are you feeling okay? That's what I'm concerned about too. Of course, I'm concerned about your mom and dad as well, but I'm wondering how you're doing. Yeah, kind of an odd day today. My brain is playing sort of tricks on me, and I'm feeling a little bit sad. I can't identify why I'm sad, really. Just having one of those days that feels more. Yasminka sending me a very energetic hug. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, it's good to see you, Albert. And
I don't know if she would be able to give any other type of hug. Like,
yeah,
energetic seems to be a yes.
A Yaz hug is all energy.
Yeah.
Miss Christie's here. Say hi, Miss Christie. Oh, I was going to do... At the hula, 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 hula girl. Hula.
What is it when I do it like this?
It's a fish girl. Take a fish. That's it.
Is that weird for people when I do it like that?
Yeah, it's weird for me. It's giving me kind of like a... I hope the Candy household feels better too very soon. Yeah, kind of an odd day. Kind of a day where I'm not sure what to trust in my emotions, to be honest with you. I don't know if that makes sense to a lot of people. Some days, I don't know if anybody ever just feels, I was feeling that today, almost all day. So, yes. Albert writes that she is stuck on 220 volts. That's it. Yeah. She's just a little spark plug. So let's read some books. Let's not worry about what's shaking in my noggin. Let's read some books. How about that? Let's read a book. This came out of the Kindness Pack from Scholastic Books that I got the other day. This is written by Trudy Ludwig, and it's illustrated by Patrice Barton, and it's called The Invisible Boy. And I don't know how good a book it's going to be because I can see him right there. So, I think, you know what? I think if you're not very good at drawing invisible stuff, it must be hard to draw something that's not there. There we go. A friend of mine years ago lost his sight, Miss Christie, and Mike Simmons was his name. And I said, "What did you do today?" He said, "Well, we went to a movie, and when you are visually impaired, you get to go to the movie for free," he said. So he goes, I go, "What movie did you go see?" He goes, "The Invisible Man." And he goes, I'll tell you right now, the irony is not all lost to me. Lost to me that when I lost my vision, the first movie I went and saw is a guy that wasn't there. You couldn't see. I thought that was very good. He's a very funny comedian too. Can you see Brian, the invisible boy? Even Miss Carlotti has trouble noticing him in his classroom. She's too busy dealing with Nathan and Sophie. I feel completely invisible today.
I think everybody gets to have that moment every once in a while.
Nathan has problems with what Miss Carlotti says, volume control. He uses his outside voice too much. Sophie whines and complains that she doesn't get her way. And Sophie complains that she doesn't get her way. Nathan and Sophie take up a lot of space, and Brian doesn't. JT glances in Brian's direction and just as quickly looks away. We've got enough players for each team, he tells the others. Let's play ball. Oh my goodness, I felt like this growing up. In the cafeteria, Madison and her friends talk about her birthday party. The rope swing over the pool was awesome, says JT. Yeah, so was a water slide, said Fiona. That's the best pool party ever. I'm so glad you guys had fun, said Madison. Everybody did, except for Brian. Brian wasn't invited.
Okay, this book is totally going to break my heart.
It's sort of a story of my life, actually. Let's see where it goes. At choosing time, while the other kids play board games and read, Brian sits at his table doing what he loves to do best. He draws fire-breathing dragons scaling tall buildings. Thank you for toasting my marshmallow. That's what it says right there. Thank you for toasting my marshmallow. Space aliens locked in intergalactic battles, and greedy pirates digging for treasure. And of course, superheroes with the power to make friends wherever they go. I've got you now. Dar crackers. Yay! Hi. Friend, have a cookie. That's what they're saying there. On Monday morning, Miss Carlotti introduces Justin, a new student. Brian smiles shyly at him. Some of the other kids sneaks looks at Justin, trying to figure out if he's cool enough to be their friend. They haven't made their minds up yet.
Who determines what cool is?
Cool is different things to different people.
Well, I know,
yeah.
But...
Yeah, it's different things to different people, right?
I know, but it seems very often used as a measure, right?
Yeah, it is, very much so. At lunch, Madison and JT watch Justin eat with chopsticks. What's that? Says Madison as she points to Justin's food. It's it's a hard word to say. Bulgogi. What? Bulgogi. It's a Korean barbecue beef. My grandma makes it for me. It's really good. Do you want to try some? There's no way I'm eating bulgogi. And the kids laugh, all of them. That is, except for Brian. He sits there wondering which is worse, being laughed at or feeling invisible. The next day, when Justin goes to his cubby to put away his backpack, he notices a piece of paper with his name on it. Justin, I thought bulgogi looked good. Brian. Yum! He's got himself drawn as a superhero because he's a superhero that makes friends. At morning recess, Brian finds a piece of chalk on the ground and starts drawing away. You're Brian, right? Yeah. Thanks for the note. I bet you that note made him feel included.
Yeah, it would make you feel really good.
Hey, Justin, Emilio calls from the tetherboat car. You're up next. I'm sorry, I gotta go, says Justin. By the way, that's a really cool drawing, he adds before taking off. Back in class, Mrs. Carlotti asks the kids to team up in twos or threes for a special project. The kids scurry around the room and pair off. Brian heads towards Justin. I'm already with Justin, says Emilio. Find someone else. Albert says purple hair is cool.
It could be. It wouldn't be if I was a mean person, though, maybe.
No.
Yeah.
Brian looks at the floor, wishing he could draw a hole right there to swallow him out. Miss Carlotti said we could have up to 3 people in our group. We're only 2. Come on, Emilio. Let him work with us. Oh, okay, I guess. Miss Carlotti gives the class directions for a project. Your assignment is to work together to write a story about what you see in this photograph. Use your imagination and have fun. Wow, cool, says Emilio. What kind of people do you think live in houses like that? I don't know, but I bet Brian could draw them with our story, says Justin. Brian smiles and takes out his lucky pen.
Is this the first time we've seen him in color in this book?
It is. Wait, you see? He was black and white, and then when they put the hand on him, here he starts turning a little bit in color. Good observation, Miss Christie. Because he doesn't feel invisible anymore, I suppose.
Yeah.
Right? Narrator. Hi, I'm the narrator, and if you're wondering why a pirate got the part of the narrator, I'll tell you. It's all in the agent. Well, now with the crooked story we made up on the spot. I'll just let you see some of these pictures for a second.
It looks like they had lots of fun putting that
Yeah,
story
definitely.
together.
It looks like they had lots of fun. It's lunchtime again. Brian's least favorite part of the day. Another 20 long minutes of kids talking and laughing with everybody else but him. Brian! Hears somebody shout. Hey, Brian, over here! No, he's still in color, so he doesn't feel too invisible right now. Brian turns and sees Justin waving him over. Emilio nods at Brian and makes room for him at the table.
Oh, progress.
That's awesome.
I like hearing this.
Maybe, just maybe, Brian's not so invisible at all. Oh, that's the end of the book. Well, that's all it took was somebody to include him for Brian to not feel invisible anymore. I felt invisible a lot, my whole quite a bit. And I think that's why I was acting out in class so much, because I wanted some attention and some love. And there are days where I feel completely invisible. Like today, I just feel that everybody has something to do with somebody except for me. Does that make sense? I feel kind of. There's something called FOMO, which is FOMO, which is fear of missing out. And I have a big fear of missing out. I think that's why I try to get involved with so much stuff. So maybe I just have to get over that. Maybe. You see, even though I'm an adult, it doesn't mean I have all the answers. I have a lot of questions still, and I still have a lot of struggles. But I think it's important for me to share the way my brain works and the way my heart works, and if I'm feeling sad or if I'm feeling anxious, because you know what? I think it lets you as children and other adults just feel kind of like we're all on the same field a bit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to...
Yeah.
Now, I found this book, and I don't think I've read it before, but it just seems like this book, literally, I was walking out, and I don't know, I think we've read this one before.
I don't recognize
I
it.
don't recognize but you know what? It's, yes, you know what? It's called Little One. We can't read this book tonight, because I promised the author that I would let her know when we're going to read it.
Ah.
That's what it is. That's why it was sitting out like that. I don't think it was, it didn't make that sound.
No.
Is that Farty book?
No.
Oh, it's the Farty Boys.
That definitely doesn't look like a fart book. You have a few fart books.
There's a fart book. Let's read a silly book, or let's read something. Let's read here, Fly Guy versus the Flyswatter. There we go. We'll read that. Fly Guy, we're a deedle do versus the Flyswatter. Flyswatter.
Mortal enemies.
Body beat that boat. Vroom, vroom, vroom.
Are you going to use your fly voice again?
I will. I remember, was it like this? I think it was like...
Was it like that?
Yeah.
I went like that. A boy had a pet... Oh, this book, sorry. This book is by Ted Arnold, and it's by Cartwheel Books, and it's a scholastic book, too, sort of. And it is in 2011. So there we go. I love it. That was a great thing that you said, your audience, and I hate the word fart. Toot is better. Miss Christie toots. I fart.
No, I fart too.
Oh, that's a tootle.
Everybody farts.
Yeah, everybody farts.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Normal,
No, not everybody. Some people toot.
Normal.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but some people.
Function.
It is. I just wait until you're there to show you it. My boy had a pet fly.
And boy, don't you.
Uh-oh. A boy had a pet fly. He named him Fly Guy. And the Fly Guy could say the boy's name. Toot is very much nicer. Oh, yeah, for sure, it's nicer.
It's cuter.
It's cuter. Oh, I poofed her. Chapter 1. One day, Fly Guy was eating breakfast in Buzz's backpack.
Yummy. Excuse me.
Buzz grabbed his backpack and went to school. At school, Fly Guy flew out.
Surprise! Surprise!
When the teacher said, "We're going on a field trip to tour a factory." I thought it said for a tour factory.
This is right here. Come on into a factory. It's where we make tours. We used to make oneers, but now we make tours. We don't make any threers. It's just tours. That's all we do. Just tours. That's all. Right there. In the factory. Right there. Factory.
That's a good one. Buzz said, "Fly Guy, you can ride in my pocket." And the class rode the bus to the factory. And Buzz felt like a giant kangaroo. Because he had something in his pocket. School bus. They arrived at the factory. Uh-oh. It's the fantastic Flyswatter factory. Flyswatter factory. Flyswatter. Bum, bum, bum. This is called foreshadowing. Oh!
Bad news.
Bad news. Bad news. Chapter 2. Oh, Chapter 2. Let's read on, shall we? A tour guide led the class inside. Now, I don't want to be rude, but I mean, that's probably... I've gone on some pretty boring tours before, but a tour of a Flyswatter factory? I don't know. I'm trying to find the joy in that, but come on, come see the water. What?
Well, you've seen that show on Discovery, the one that's like
How it's made,
right?
yeah.
They do stuff like this all the time. It's
Oh, for sure.
interesting.
How's a Flyswatter made? Oh, you should see one time there was one where they made tiny little, they knitted tiny little cardigans like that with tiny little buttons and stuff. It was a typo. They said a fly sweater. So they were making little tiny fly sweaters.
I can't even imagine how tiny that sweater
Oh, it was tiny. It was about this big. But flies didn't wear them because they only put 2 arms and then they needed a whole bunch of arms. So there was a big... So somewhere, there's a whole factory with tiny little sweaters that big. They look like the one, remember the time I put your sweater in the dryer because I thought I was helping you out? And you're like, hey, this will fit. A tour guide let them inside. Buzz said, "Fly Guy, stay down in my pocket."
Dun, dun, dun.
I remember the time that my grandmother was driving, and again it was this. So I told her there's cruise control, so she put the car on cruise control and she started knitting. She started knitting a sweater, and she's just knitting a sweater, driving along, and she's weaving like that. And the policeman came over, rolled out his window, and her window was down too, because and he yells, "Pull over, pull over!" She goes, "No, it's a cardigan." The tour guide said, "Here's our Flyswatter museum." I think this is funny. The first Flyswatter, of course, was your hand. Then there's the fly ball swatter. There's the caveman fly swatter, a digital eye swatter, and the royal fly swatter. Good one. Haha. I haven't got a groan yet. Is Barb here? I didn't have a groan yet. I've had 2 groaners there. "This is where we make the fly swatters," she said. "You may each have one." This guy didn't get a fly swatter. My fly swatter's broken. I think I wrenched my back. Wrenched my back.
Okay, I'll do it.
Groan. Do I write your joke on the fly? I did, and then it flew off, and everybody's like,
What did that say? I don't know.
now, said the guide, here's Fred the Fly to tell you more. Fly guy peeked out.
Boys and girls, said Fred, we know that flies play in slime.
And Fly guy nodded.
Yes, I do. I like slime.
Flies eat garbage. Fly guy smiled.
Yes. Yummy.
Flies are nasty. Fly guy got mad.
What do you mean? Nah, what?
That's why, boys and girls, Fred the Fly shouted, we need the fly swatter of the future. The super swatter 6,000, thousand.
That's really intense.
Yep. The fly swatter, the super swatter 6,000, thousand.
Now,
That's actually me. There's not an echo effect. Listen. 6,000, thousand. It's just me. We don't have an effect thing. Yes?
okay, but look, there's dead fly
Fly recycling.
What is it recycled into?
I'll have to think about that. What would you recycle a fly for? I'm not. Now let's see what the super fly swatter can do, said Fred. Bring out the fly.
Oh.
Oh no.
Bum bum bum.
Come fly away with me. The tour guide brought a jar out with a teeny tiny fly in the jar. Release the fly, called Fred.
That poor fly.
Bum bum bum. This is where there'd be a commercial.
Like they brought it out on a pillow
too. Hey, here's a commercial for you. Next week on the 18th, this will be a Zoom show. So I will send you on my site. There'll be a there'll be a Zoom link as soon as I remember to ask my friend to set up a Zoom show for us. That's right, next week. No other details? Because they're not in here yet. Fly alert, fly alert. The super swatter started swatting. Whap, 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 whap. Fly guy cried,
Buzz!
No kidding.
It recycles into. She wrote Jeff Goldman, but I think you mean Jeff Goldblum from the movie The Fly. Fly guy flew to the little fly. The super swatter kept swatting. Fly alert, fly alert, fly alert. Fly guy took the fly to an open window. The super swatter kept swatting. It's getting intense. Fly guy flew flap. Hot it. Let's try the words again. Fly guy flew past Fred the Fly, and the super swatter kept swatting. Whap, 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 whap. And it Fred the Fly, I think.
It looks like it.
The fly guy flew past the fly swatter machines. The super swatter kept swatting. Stop, stop, yelled Fred. Everybody out. No more factory tours ever. Said to the chagrin of the children who had nothing else to do. Now there's just math.
We went to see a brick factory. I don't know. Is it any more interesting?
Did you go see a brick factory? Taz Stewart, we're reading a Fly Guy book. Taz Stewart, Fly Guy book. Hey Taz, how many? I read somewhere that do you know how many eyes a monarch butterfly has?
I do not.
12,000 apparently.
That's a lot of eyes.
That's right. Back at school, the class made an art project, and everybody agreed. Best field trip ever. Well, there you go.
Never to be had again.
Never to be had again. That's it. Boop, 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 bop, boop, fly,
I didn't
fly,
leave the
fly.
Brick Factory thinking this was the best tour ever.
Did you leave the Brick Factory going, this is the best tour ever?
I did not.
No.
But our options were really limited in
Right,
southeastern
Saskatchewan. Do you want to go see the... We went and saw... We would go see the cow that had the window in its tummy, like so that you could see all its stomachs. Did you ever see that?
No.
They had a living cow that they had put basically a piece of plexiglass on the side. You could see its stomach.
That sounds cruel.
It was. I didn't seem like it was a big deal when we were kids, but now that we're thinking about it, it's not as not. It was interesting. You got to see how it ate, and then. Blah. Anyways, officially that's an ocelot. Yes. Oh yeah, you're right. That's an ocelot of eyes for sure. That's why they don't get glasses. Very expensive. They go to lens crafters and they got 12,000 eyes. You're like, hey, you know what? Your glasses will be ready in 7 months.
Can you imagine when they get old and they need progressives?
Oh my goodness. That looks big. A little smaller. Bigger, smaller. Anyways, you know what? This put me in a pretty good mood. Thank you very much for listening to me read and letting me be silly, because sometimes I just need to be silly to get my brain off the fact that I was sad a little while ago. So there you go. I'm going to sing my song, and then I'm going to ask Miss Christy for a puppy. I didn't ask yet, so please don't say
Nobody
no.
can see your finger when you do that.
I know. That's why I do it that way. Oh, my goodness. And boop. That's it. So remember, all your emotions are valid, be it happiness or sadness or angry or whatever. But remember, we always say it's okay to get mad, it's okay to be sad, and it's okay to be frustrated with the situation. But you have to be K. Always be kind. Always be kind, always be kind. I promise myself to try to always be kind. And as long as you try, and you try your hardest, that's sort of what life's all about, right? There you go. So remember to share your feelings. Don't hold them in, because sometimes we hold them in and then they get worse and worse. And when you share them, sometimes somebody can just say, hey, have you tried looking at it this way? And it helps us feel a little bit better, or helps us see our own emotions. If nothing more, it makes us know that other people care. And that's very, very much, very, very important. That's what we're saying. Good night, Facebook friends. Good night. Good night, Facebook friends. Good night. May your dreams be cheery and your dreams be bright. Good night, Facebook friends. Good night. Sleep tight, Facebook friends. Sleep tight. Sleep tight, Facebook friends. Sleep tight. May your dreams be so silly till the morning light. Good night, Facebook friends. Good night. Lots of love from Miss Christy and I.
Hey, Tazzy.
Yeah?
One of these nights I want you to try to sing that like a rock star.
Like a rock star?
Yeah. Not tonight.
Right. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you remind me and I'll try it. I'll
Okay.
try it. I'll do anything for a puppy, because we're getting a
No,
puppy
you're
now.
not getting a puppy.
Oh, she said maybe. Ha!